A 75-year-old man walked into a crowded doctor's waiting room and approached the desk. The receptionist said, "Yes, sir. What are you seeing the doctor for today?" "There's, something wrong with my penis," he replied. The receptionist became irritated and said, "You shouldn't come into a crowded waiting room and say things like that." "Why not? You asked me what was wrong and I told you," he said. The receptionist replied, "Now you could have caused some needless embarrassment in this room full of people. You should have said there is something wrong with your ear or something and discussed the problem further with the doctor in private." The man replied, "Well, you shouldn't ask people questions in a room full of strangers if the answer could embarrass anyone." The man then decided to walk out, waited several minutes, and then re-entered. The receptionist smiled smugly and asked, "Yes?" "There's something wrong with my ear," he stated loudly. The receptionist nodded approvingly and smiled, knowing he had taken her advice. "What's wrong with your ears, sir?" "I can't piss out of it." A professor develops a theory to determine how truthful patients are when asked about their sex life. According to the theory, the wider the smile is, the more frequent the intercourse. To put his theory into practice, he invites some of his patients into the practice. He goes up to the first one, asks him a few questions, and seeing the smile, asks, "You're together once a week, aren't you?" "Yes, doctor." He goes to the second one. The grin is wider, so he says, "You and your wife are together every 2 days." "Yes, it's amazing how you figured that out." The doctor goes over to the guy at the end of the row with his mouth up to his ears. "Wow, you guys have sex every day?" "No, doctor." "Every 2 days?" "No." "Monthly?" "Nope." "Every year?" "Yes, 1 night a year." "Then why are you grinning like that?" "Because tonight is the night." This elderly lady went to the doctor for a checkup. Everything checked out fine. The old lady pulled the doctor to the side and said,
"Doctor, I haven't had sex for years now, and I was wondering how I can increase my husband's sex drive."
The doctor smiled and said, "Have you tried giving him Viagra?" The lady frowned.
"Doctor, I can't even get him to take aspirin when he has a headache,"
she claimed. "Well," the doctor continued, "let me suggest something. Crush the Viagra into a powder. When you're giving him coffee, stir it into the coffee and serve it. He won't notice a thing." The old lady was delighted. She left the doctor's office quickly. Weeks later, the old lady returned. She was frowning, and the doctor asked her what was wrong. She shook her head. "How did it go?" the doctor asked.
"Terrible, doctor. Terrible."
"Did it not work?"
"Yes,"
the old lady said.
"It worked. I did as you said, and he got up and ripped his clothes off right then and there, and we made mad love on the table. Oh, it was the best sex that I'd had in 25 years.
"Then what is the problem, man?"
"Well," she said, "I can't ever show my face in a McDonald's again."
An elderly gentleman had a serious hearing problem for a number of years. He went to the doctor, and the doctor was able to have him fitted for a set of hearing aids that allowed the gentleman to hear 100%. The elderly gentleman went back in a month to the doctor, and the doctor said, "Your hearing is perfect. Your family must be very pleased that you can hear again." The gentleman replied,
"Oh, I haven't told my family yet. I just sit around and listen to their conversations. I've changed my will 3 times.
A beautiful young woman was about to undergo a minor operation. She was lying on a hospital trolley bed with nothing on except a sheet over her. The nurse pushed her trolley down the corridor towards the operating theater, where she left the woman on the trolley outside, while she went in to check whether everything was ready. A young man wearing a white coat approached her, lifted the sheet up, and started examining her naked body. He put the sheet back and then walked away and talked to another man in a white coat. A second man came over, lifted the sheet, and performed the same examinations. When a third man did the same thing, yet even more carefully, she began to grow impatient and blurted out, "All these examinations are fine and appreciated, but when are you going to start the operation?" The man in the white coat shrugged his shoulders. "Oh, I have no idea. We're just painting the corridor."
An 85-year-old man was rushed to the hospital with a possible concussion. The doctor asked him a series of questions. "Do you know where you are?"
I'm at Rex Hospital.
"What city are you in?"
Relay?
"Do you know who I am?"
Oh, Dr. Hamilton.
The old man then turns to the nurse and said,
I hope he doesn't ask me any more questions.
"Why?" she asked.
Because all of those answers were on his badge.
An 82-year-old man went to the doctor to get a physical. A few days later, the doctor saw Morris walking down the street with a gorgeous young woman on his arm. A couple of days later, the doctor spoke to Morris and said, "You're really doing great, aren't you?" Morris replied,
Just doing what you said, Doc. Get a hot mama and be cheerful.
The doctor said, "I didn't say that. I said you've got a heart murmur. Be careful."
A man is talking to the family doctor. "Doc, I think my wife's going deaf." The doctor answers, "Well, here's something you can try on her to test her hearing. Stand some distance away from her and ask her a question. If she doesn't answer, move a little closer and ask again. Keep repeating this until she answers. Then you'll be able to tell just how hard of hearing she really is." The man goes home and tries it out. He walks in the door and says, "Honey, what's for dinner?" He doesn't hear an answer, so he moves closer to her. "Honey, what's for dinner?" Still no answer. He repeats this several times until he's standing just a few feet away from her. Finally, she answers, "For the 11th time, I said we're having meatloaf." An elderly couple was attending church services. About halfway through, she leans over and says to her husband, "I just let out a silent fart. What do you think I should do?" He replies, "Put a new battery in your hearing aid."
A man goes to the dentist to ask how much it would be to pull a tooth. $100, said the dentist. "Oh, that's expensive," said the man. "Do you have anything cheaper?" "That's the normal price for an extraction," said the dentist. The man thinks about it. "What about if you don't use the anesthetic?" "Well, it would be unusual, but we could do that. It would be about $75. The man thinks some more. "Well, what about if you used a trainee and no anesthetic?" "Well," said the dentist, "I think that could work, but it would be a lot more painful. I think that would be about $35. The man thought some more. "That's still a lot. What if you make it a trainee session with a student doing the extraction, and the other students can watch?" The dentist says, "Okay, that would be good for the students, but it will be traumatic to have it done that way. I'll charge you $5 for that." "Great," said the man. "That's perfect. Can I book my wife for her appointment on Wednesday?" Thank you so much for watching. Click here to watch the next video.